Ask and you shall receive. So many people have been asking for this, I figured I'd go ahead and make an entire new series right here on YouTube about what you've been asking for, because not only am I gonna go ahead and show you a little bit about the 2021 Tucson, but it's gonna be my personal favorite trim level, the Tucson Sport. So I don't think there's anything left to say. Let's drive. What is up, guys? It's Miguel, car guy, and today we are finally driving the Tucson Sport, and I cannot wait. I've been wanting to drive these cars for a while, but I absolutely hate when I go ahead and watch videos and the presenter is just like, yeah, it's fast. Yeah, smooth. It's annoying to me. It's annoying to me. Talk about the car, make me interested, and show me a few things, and that's precisely what I want to go ahead and do for you. So if you like these videos, go ahead and like, subscribe, and share my channel. That way me and you can keep on making this channel big and strong. And if you live in Orlando and actually like this or any other car on my channel, go ahead, click that first link in the description below. That's a schedule with Miguel. That way I can guarantee that once you're here, you'll be getting me, because I can go ahead and actually sell you these cars because I live and work as a real salesman. So that is a little distinction for me. Now, what I want to go ahead and do is show you a few differences in the car so that way you can see for yourself why it's absolutely amazing. Now, before we start driving though, what I want to do, I already checked the mirrors and I have my seatbelt on and the car is running. So first thing I want to go ahead and double check are the sensors. Yes, because the Tucson Sport does bring blind spot sensors. So if someone's next to you, these little lights go ahead and light up to let you know that they're there. But thing number two I want to activate is lane keeping assist. This is a feature that actually helps maintain you in the center of the lane. A lot of people will say, but Miguel, my car has that. That's not special. I'm not saying that Hyundai has the only one, but I will say, to Hyundai's credit, it is very passive, because what Hyundai does is actually keep it centered in the lane. I've test driven a lot of other makes and models that have something similar, but they don't correct you until you're all the way to the line. Then it's an overcorrection and it's quite unnerving. I get it. That's why most people turn it off, but Hyundai actually keeps center in the lane. That way the changes are more gradual and you feel more at ease and relaxed, because that's what it's supposed to do. Not supposed to shock you. It's supposed to help keep you safe, and that's exactly what the Tucson does. Now, from the expensive one to the inexpensive one, they all have the same proportions. So when you go ahead and look at the back, you do have, with the seats up in the trunk, you do have 31 cubic feet of cargo room, allowing you to put a lot of good stuff. And when you go ahead and throw those seats down, you are getting nearly 62 cubic feet of cargo room for the trunk space, which is absolutely phenomenal. Second row is actually just quite as nice, because when you actually go ahead and sit in the second row, you have a massive amount of room. I'd say probably about 70% of people coming in to look for a Santa Fe ends up living in Tucson, because they see how roomy it is, how much more easy it is to park, and the features are pretty much the same from a Santa Fe to a Tucson as far as safety and comfort. Now, once you come up here and get into the front, you can see all the cool toys that you ever would want. First and foremost, you do have a leather wrap steering wheel, really making it feel that top-notch quality, because this is a top-notch car. I absolutely love the way that the Tucson feels on the inside. Now, another feature that you have on the inside is not exclusive to the Sport, but you also do have these dual zone climate controls. That way, if the passenger wants to be at a different temperature than the driver, you don't have to suffer, you don't have to fight. They set their temperature, you set yours, and everybody is happy. Now, after you get your car set up, go ahead, throw that thing in drive, and let's go ahead and talk about this thing. Because coming to the Tucson is super, super nice. I want to make sure that I have everything around me good. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and merge onto this road right here. That way, you guys can see the get up and go on this car. Oh, I highly recommend, if you're ever needing a little bit more pep, go ahead and push this little drive mode button right here, because it'll go ahead and activate sport mode for you. That way it gives you a bunch of peppiness without having to go ahead and sacrifice on comfort, you know, because when you go ahead and put it in sport and actually pin it, it's not a Ferrari. It's not supposed to be a Ferrari, but it does scoot. You're going to be surprised at how scooty this car is. And then when you don't actually need the Sport anymore, just go ahead and turn off the Sport and you're back in the normal mode, which is the fuel saving mode anyway. That way you could go ahead and get 22 miles per gallon in the city, that's 28 miles per gallon on the highway, which is super, super good and competitive in this market, especially for an SUV of the size. Now, some of you are probably wondering, well, what about the motor? Well, let me tell you, the Tucson SEL and the Tucson Sport right here in the upper packages as well share the same motor. It is a 2.4 liter four-cylinder. It actually gives you 181 horsepower, which is only 4 horsepower down from the Santa Fe at 185, which is super, super nice considering this car is a bit more compact than the Santa Fe. Another cool thing though is that when you go ahead and get into the Sport, a few distinguishing factors on the inside. You're going to go ahead and have wireless phone charging. So if capable of charging your phone wirelessly, if your phone is capable of charging wirelessly, all you gotta do is place it in this little pad right here, and then voila, it's gonna go ahead and start charging up. So that way, in case you left the phone at home or the charging cable for your phone at home, just put it right there, you'll be fine. You don't have to worry about getting to some place and only having 5% battery. I already mentioned one inside feature. Another inside feature I'll mention that you get when you get into the Sport is the Infinity surround sound system. The easiest way and least expensive way to get it is to buy the Tucson Sport, which is super, super nice. Now, another cool feature is kind of an inside-outside thing, is the power tailgate, because yes, you do have an electric tailgate when you actually do upgrade to the Tucson Sport. That way you don't have to go ahead and put everything on the ground and then muscle up the trunk and then throw everything in the back and then everything, you know, no, just push the button on the key, or better yet, go ahead and use the smart trunk feature, because yes, you can actually set up the smart liftgate, get within 3 feet of the back of the car, and then as soon as those two things are done beeping, then you're done. The car goes ahead and opens up the liftgate, and then you're good. You don't have to do the Macarena. You don't have to use the force with your foot to go in front of a sensor. You don't. Less things to go wrong, and it's so much easier. And let's just say that something does go wrong. Obviously, Hyundai, they have America's best warranty, because if we're talking about engine transmission, that's 10 years or 100,000 miles. Now, the comprehensive vehicle coverage is also 5 years or 60,000 miles. Things also known as bumper to bumper. So your air conditioning is covered, your window motors are covered, your radio is covered for 5 years or 60,000 miles. And those are just the things on the inside. I mean, if you actually look at the car from the outside, it's absolutely gorgeous. And the main reason why I like this car, because when you actually look at the headlights, the Tucson Sport is the first level to go ahead and bring these LED headlights with LED taillights as well. That way it can go ahead, shine a little bit brighter and last a little bit longer as well. Phenomenal. Now, another cool thing is that it's also the first level to go ahead and bring these fog lights. So if you want fog lights, the least expensive Tucson you're going to be looking at is the Sport. Quite nice. Now, moving over here to the side, another phenomenal thing that you're going to notice that is actually an exclusive, not even the limited, not even the ultimate have this feature. It is these 19-inch alloy wheels that you see right here. Absolutely beautiful, and really gives a curb appeal to the Tucson that I don't think too many other vehicles have. There are a lot of other cars out there with nice rims. I'm not saying the Tucson is the only one, but I'm saying once you couple in the looks of the wheels plus the headlights and the overall feel and style of the car, the Tucson is pretty up there. You can't even deny it. It's pretty up there. And that's something that, you know, that undeniable elegance, yeah. Another great thing about the car is that it's very comfortable even at speed. Right now I'm doing 45 miles an hour, which is the speed limit, but listen how quiet it is. What is it, 60 decibels? That's nothing. That's conversation, you know? So if you could be in like a food court or in a library and you hear somebody else's conversation, that's how quiet this car is. That way, even when you're just tired after work, you could go ahead, turn up your tunes, or enjoy the conversation of the person sitting next to you, and you're in your own little world instead of having to forcibly be forced into somebody else's world, especially if they have really bad taste in music. So that's another thing that I love about the Tucson. It is very, very quiet, even when you're not sitting still, which any car is nice when they're sitting still, but the Tucson, something else, especially when it's beauty like this emotion. Yeah, Tucson's way to go. And so guys, that has been the 2021 Tucson Sport. And no, I didn't cover every single little thing on the car because it would take way too long and I'm too far with that. But if you want to go ahead, see more detailed look at the Tucson Sport, go ahead, click this little video right here so that way you can see the entire video I did dedicated to that beautiful car right there. But if you had fun just like I had fun, please go ahead, like, subscribe, and share these videos. That way you and I can grow up the channel big and strong, and leave me a few more comments. What else would you like to see on my channel? But guys, that is my time. So until next time, I'm Miguel, your car guy, and I'll see you soon. Ask and you shall. I really do hope the audio is good in this and that you could actually hear me clearly, because I'm kind of worried that you might not be. So let's see. Another phenomenal thing about the car is that it is very, very comfortable. Even when you're going at speed, look at how quiet it is. Oh, crap. Just to put that in perspective, this library is pretty much the same, and it's not moving at 45 miles an hour. Check that out.